being a rapper used to be this big thing that when mentioned in the areas like the hood, people would pat you on the back and it would be well accredited. In 2025, you're pretty much a dummy. The biggest rappers of 2025 are connected to big cases. They're connected to big situations that have nothing to do with their music at all. The one thing that we used to protect called the culture has now been opened up and exploited in all type of ways by different type of people, and that's up to you to judge. This video was called The Worst Thing About Being a Rapper, and I agree with this video 1000%. And by the end of the video, you might agree with me as well on why rap is just not the same like it used to be.
Disappointing that somebody that made it out the hood with a multi-generational following and multi-million dollars acting as if they want to impress somebody in the hood. You want to relate to the hood? Show them how to get out. This is a little different than what I usually do, but it's something that we have in every city. We all know the biggest disappointment in my city, Lil Durk. A man with a Grammy Award caught in a Fed case because allegedly he was trying to avenge a crash out that should have never been around him. No disrespect to King Von, but you put your hands on somebody and they shoot you. That's called cause and effect.
And that's the weirdest thing about the culture. See, in my part of the culture, in my era of the culture, fighting is cool. Right now, fighting to get your head blown smooth off your body because people can't fight and they not trying to fight.
Fact, ain't nothing to get back for. In fact, I hope Lil Durk is innocent because there's too many dead people around him for this to be the revenge he throws his life away for. Not to mention, the guys on every hit associated with his name are straight created players. That's not to say these guys ain't dangerous. According to one of them, they'll kill you just for a payment. But that's not how the streets work. If we friends, I shouldn't have to pay you to do nothing. BRICC Baby, at nearly 40 years old, as impossible as it sounds, a porn star actually gave you the clout that rapping would have never given you. Wow. We all know that Adam wanted you to crash out to keep his revenue flowing, and you fell for it. But that's fine. You a gang member. I didn't expect nothing less. Adam is gonna put you in situations where your enemies get brought up, and you gonna have to.
Yo, I remember an era when being a gang member was quiet and what y'all done in gangs wasn't so publicized. Like, I know what be going on in y'all gangs, and I know who y'all be beefing with because of people like BRICC Baby.
Gonna say it's just content, and you were getting paid for it too. But failing to realize that when it comes to you and the law, Adam is going to choose the law every time. That makes him more mature than you. And he's a guy who I regard as having no soul at all. I won't mention any allegations on his name until proven true, but who is this man? He's the son of a corrupt alderman that lobbied for $1 million contracts to benefit the construction company he worked for before being pardoned by the President of the United States when he got caught in a fraud case. And his uncle, the one who likely secured the pardon, was a board member for the government agency responsible for all the money the U.S. sends to other countries. He managed the campaign for the longest serving governor in the history of Massachusetts, and he was an informal advisor for President Clinton. To say his uncle was a powerful man is an understatement. How does a man with a family this powerful and influential enough to ask for a presidential pardon become an adult content creator with a hip-hop culture podcast? There's no way the FBI came to his house without a member of his family informing him beforehand, and I'm not saying he's a government informant, I'm just saying I can't rule it out. Looking at Adam22 as a culture vulture is just a distraction compared to what he could actually do. He has days worth of footage on BRICC Baby saying things a man with 2 strikes in California should not be saying, and as a result the federal government has this too. BRICC has enough clout and charisma to do his own podcast to make a living. But
see, some people say that Adam22 is wrong. I don't think that it's wrong. I just think that it's lackadaisical. That's the word I want to go with. I mean, if you know your man is doing something that could potentially send him in, it's not your responsibility to stop him. But if you know that he can lead himself down the road and you care, then yeah, it is your responsibility to stop him.
Being in too deep with the rolling 60s, still, at nearly 40 years old, he dug his own grave. He'll still probably be out before Big U. Lil Baby, from 2017 to now, his career has gone in the wrong direction. When the court in Atlanta is playing recordings of men insinuating that you, a 30-year-old man, have placed bounties on people's head when you're a millionaire, you have made a fatal error. With all the weird things you probably did with Michael Rubin, it appears you failed to learn the most important thing he could have taught you. Because the closest you will see a guy like him to street politics is when he makes all these rappers come party on his boat like a bunch of thoughts. I'm not trying to be bogus, I'm just calling it out like it is. 21 Savage, I used to listen to you back in 2016, but at your age, still rapping like you in the hood, killing anything but a fly that buzzed past your head It's embarrassing. A lot of y'all, you, Baby, and Young Thug, guys that could really drop game and show the little YNs how to make it out, will rather pretend to be gang members. Thug, you can't be a gang member because half your gang pled guilty and showed them people in court a lot of respect. One of your main shooters threw you under the bus, so he has no loyalty to you. Shout out to Woody for taking care of his family, but if that case wasn't live streamed, it wouldn't have been no I don't recall. He would have recalled everything he did in fact tell those detectives in the interrogation room. So what's the point of being in a gang? If the guy shooting for you provides the most evidence against you, the dude you made rich and signed to a deal that pretended to be a Crip won't even sit in a cell with you for 6 whole months.
I mean, at the end of the day, you just said a keyword, pretend. Guys, we're in a real life. We're in real world right now. You can't pretend for too long. You can act like a gangster. You can act like a tough guy. But when real things come up, your loyalty and who you really are is going to come to light. I don't know why these guys think, oh, I'm just doing a song and nobody going to realize how much of a bozo I am. Money does not buy you away from being a bozo.
All the rappers in Chicago either die or lose their buzz after 2 years. The whole Jacksonville rap scene that had the most mainstream success is either dead or in jail getting testified against by their father, aside from a couple. New York drill is dead. Y'all boys are getting hit by the feds every time it looks like they took a break. The main hope for hip-hop in New York got told on by his own friend. The streets is dead. And we got people with money and influence, and people with influence that could have got some money, all either suffering or about to suffer the consequences. It's embarrassing. Malcolm X once laughed at and mocked the fact that in the black community, musicians and comedians were made to be the leaders by those who actually had the power to put money and influence behind them. 300 Entertainment, responsible for Young Thug and the whole music aspect of YSL, Metro Boomin, Megan Thee Stallion, YNW Melly, QC, the label responsible for Lil Baby, the Migos, Cardi B, and many more. First of all, the founder of 300 worked for a bank responsible for the illegal under international law displacement of Palestinians. The rest of these artists are all under labels owned by Warner, which is headed by oligarchs not even born in the United States. Somebody has been working for decades to put money behind embarrassments to our community, and we wonder why others don't take us serious. Why someone like Adam22 doesn't fear the consequences of what he does, because he knows it's easier to pit people with money and influence against their own community.
Hey, yo, everything that got said before has died out. Y'all remember when, like, certain sayings was around the town, like, snitches get stitches? None of that matters no more. That's the change. Things were so real because you couldn't violate it. It was like a known code. Right now, you could be a gang member, go to another gang. You could not even be a gang member and throw up a gang sign and nobody will tell you nothing. This is a different time.
And that's because the wrong people are put in these positions. I come from the south side of Chicago. I've seen gang members in the black community, and I've seen judges, police officers, and doctors in our community. Violence interrupters in the hood. Men who literally and metaphorically jump in front of bullets before they start flying. But you'll never see millions of dollars put behind them. And it's not about race, because as the Romans knew when they conquered the known world, divide and conquer is how you gain control of everything.
That's a fact.
The same reason a killer is more famous than a mathematician is the same reason that those that don't know us think that this is what we all are. I seen a lot growing up on the south side. I saw men die every day, but one thing I never saw was BLM. Once again, divide and conquer. And don't let my video do this to you. I love everybody. I'm just not gonna lie to you or sugarcoat, especially not to benefit one community over the other. Because at the end of the day, most of us are not billionaires, so we actually all in this together. But again, it's much easier to pit all of us against each other.
At the end of the day, make a decision. If your decision is to go and be big and get up out the hood or whatever, do that. If your decision is to stay, then stay. But guys, if you gotta go. There's no fun in staying around a community that's gonna potentially kill you or bring you down. I'm just being honest with you. The smartest ones have left. They seen something different and they moved their family out. I would love to know what you guys feel about this video. I would love to know your guys' views on everything that we watched on here today. This is my main commentary channel, Rich House Reviews. Make sure you subscribe and hit the top bell, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out of here.